Hello YouTube, this is Veteran Mountain Man again, and I am coming to you today with Articles 5, 6, and 7 of the U.S. Constitution. So these are the last articles. Each one is only a single section, and they're not really complex. They are basically more administrative tasks that were needed to get the Constitution finalized. So, without further delay, we're going to get right into these. Article 5 deals with how amendments can be passed. And basically this means that you need a two-thirds majority vote in both the House and the Senate, and you need at least two-thirds of the state legislatures to agree to the change in legislative votes. Now, there was also a way to do this, which required 3/4 of the states in a constitutional convention to push forward an amendment to Congress to be passed. Both of these ways were put forward to protect against populist change. And what do I mean by populist change? Well, a populist movement is a movement that houses 51 to 56% of a majority. Instead of being 66% like a two-thirds majority, or even 75% like a 3/4 majority, it is not an overwhelming majority. It's actually a minimal majority. And that's one of the most dangerous things to a constitutional republic, is a bare majority making the rules for everybody else. It's the same issue in a democracy, whether represented or direct. A bare majority tends to win out. And so the Constitution gave a lot of checks and balances to protect against a bare majority populist movement. Now, Article 6 seems really odd if you're reading this from a modern perspective, because first it recognizes all debts and treaties of the former government. And a lot of people go, whoa, wait a minute, there was no former government of the United States. That's not entirely true. There was a loose confederation of the original 13 colonies put together to wage the War of Independence. And that confederation had signed some treaties, particularly with France and with Italy, actually, and then, of course, signed the peace treaty with Britain. And so there were some things that the previous government had done. Also, the Confederacy had run up some debt prosecuting their rebellion against the British, and this article kept the debt on the books and allowed the United States to pay it off in good faith and become good creditors. It also specifically mandated that all legislators, judges, and officials had to take the oath of office confirming this Constitution, which is rather important because lately we've been getting activist judges and activist executives, even in states, who don't want to follow all of the stipulations and edicts of the Constitution or the law for the particular group that they have sworn to uphold. Now, it also states that there will be no religious test of any type. Now, that religious test comes towards holding office. You cannot be discriminated against holding office based on your religion. Now, people can choose not to vote for you for an office because of your religion, but there is no required test that can be passed by the government for holding office. Now, Article 7 gives the right of 9 of the original 13 states to ratify the Constitution and make it the actual law of the land, which is what the Constitution was becoming. And it also has some addendums annotated in it that remove the ambiguity of several strike-throughs that occurred in the original document. And these strike-throughs were witnessed and affirmed by William Jackson, the Secretary of the Constitutional Convention. And then below this, General Washington, who was president of the Constitutional Convention, affirmed that this was passed unanimously and all articles had been approved by the convention to be released to the states to create the new nation. And that's it, guys. When you look at my other videos and you look at this one, it will basically give you all of the detailed information about the different sections of the Constitution in rather plain English. And realistically, they are not difficult to follow even if you read them. They're just a little archaic. Now, there are still 27 amendments, which I'm going to take on in some other videos, and that includes the first 10, which are also known as the Bill of Rights, which were ratified at the same time as the Constitution. Once again, I want to remind you below we have a link to constitutionus.com, which has a digital copy of the U.S. Constitution that you can peruse at your leisure. There is also a link to the National Archives where you can view the original copies online. There is a link to Amazon where you can purchase the U.S. Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and all said amendments, including scanned copies of the original, for approximately $3. And if you have an ebook reader, that's not a bad deal, and it's a very good copy. Also, remember, I am on minds.com/veteran mountain man if you want to sit down and have a discussion about any of this with me. Please remember to like and subscribe here at YouTube. Thank you all, and have a good day.